Hey YouTube, welcome. Here's Heiko of Heiko's Garage. Today not in the garage or in front of my garage or in front of the house or in the backyard. We are in front of my computer. We're gonna take a look at a couple items that Amazon sent me, which I ordered and paid for, to improve my YouTube production. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so the stuff we're looking at today is a microphone and a microphone stand. And these two items I picked after a long process of research, reading reviews, watching YouTube reviews, reading reviews on Amazon, until I kind of came to a conclusion. So let me get a pocket knife and then we're gonna cut those boxes open and see what's in here. Before we actually look at the items that I picked for my microphone setup here at my computer, at my editing station, let me share a couple thoughts with you. So all my research, I was reading reviews, and you could find kits that already consist of a microphone arm and a microphone. But there was always the compromise. Either you get a decent microphone and a crappy arm, or you get a crappy microphone with a crappy arm. But there was never a kit, at least not as far as I could find, a decent microphone with a decent microphone arm. And I eventually came to the conclusion that I'm going to start with a decent arm that I will keep regardless of what happens to the microphone. So I picked these items individually. They are not sold together. I picked an arm by Innogear, which by design looks similar to the Rode microphone arm that you can find on Amazon, which has really good reviews and gets lots of attention on YouTube. Innogear is kind of an off-brand, made in China, unfortunately. But I decided to go with a decent arm, and then I'm going to try out different microphones. And this here, this FiFine, you probably have heard of this brand, gets a lot of YouTube attention. Packaging looks good, nice hard box. This was packed up in an Amazon box, so it wasn't shipped just in this box, but it was actually packed up in a big shipping box by Amazon. Nice two-piece box here. Pretty good presentation, and there you can already see what I picked. This is really low budget, has no adjustments on it. This is a condenser microphone, USB cord is attached to it. You know, the presentation of the packaging is definitely pretty good. And surprisingly, some of the reviews that I found on YouTube, this little microphone here actually gets pretty good reviews too. There's not much adjustment room for gain or echo or stuff like that, but whoever used it on YouTube in those reviews, they were always pretty impressed by the sound. This is going to be used mainly for voiceover for YouTube videos. I'm not planning on doing any kind of podcasting or streaming, you know, so live streaming even. This is just going to be voice recording, and for that voice recording I can change the adjustments to what works best and put the microphone in the perfect location. Nobody's going to see me using this microphone. It's not going to be in front of cameras. It doesn't need to be a special brand or anything, as long as I get a pretty decent audio quality out of it. This was around $22, I want to say, so this is definitely on the cheaper end. It comes with a mount that will attach to my microphone arm. So I picked a more expensive microphone arm because all the kits were just selling with those springy looking cheapo microphone arms, and like I said, I did a lot of reading and researching, and I ended up buying this one here. I haven't even looked at it. Promise, I have not looked at it. Oh yeah, the microphone, by the way, comes with its own little tripod as well. Tiny little thing. So if you just want to set this microphone up next to you on your desk, you can definitely use this thing here and just screw it into the microphone, and then it sits there like that. I will be using this frequently for all my video editing. If I don't like what I say in the video, I just put a voiceover over it. Here's a clamp that goes onto the table, and this is already a major difference to some of those kits. This one here in particular, oh, let me move you guys, you're not looking. Much more sturdy looking than some of the other models. This here looks like it's a cast piece. It's not sheet metal bent, welded together or soldered together. This is actually pretty heavy. This looks like a proper C-clamp from my shop. And then we have the arm itself. Yeah, this packaging is you know, less glamorous as the white two-piece box there. Here, let's throw this away. And this too. So here's the arm. Quick little manual there, how to mount it, and you know how much range you have. Like if you have one of those, I don't know, salvaged wood from a old barn and your tabletop is 4 inches thick, then this will most likely not work. But here for my tabletop, which is just plywood, will work just fine. You know, the general warnings, it gives us model number. Which model is this? That's the MU028. MU028. Arm length is 14 plus 14 inches. So I guess this is the smaller version. They make a larger version as well. The maximum weight is 3.5 pounds or 1.6 kilograms. Let's hope that it can hold up my microphone. There are also a couple Velcro straps for cable managing your microphone cable. This is all USB. The cable is attached. It cannot be detached. And on the other end is just a USB type A. Let's see how long this is. Bear with background noise, my dogs are outside, and when they had enough of being out in the backyard, they always start barking. Sorry for my voice, I'm running a little bit of a cold. Let's hope it's just a cold, right? Okay, here we go. How long is this roughly? I don't know. You tell me. 6 feet? I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm gonna hold it next to me. Step on the type A. Yeah, it's about 6 feet long. So that's good. 6 feet, that should be enough to at least bring it under the desk, and then I can put some extensions on it. Here's a little bit of some foam piece in there. A rubber band to hold the arm. So this here, I don't know exactly how that works. It doesn't have external springs. Most of those kit arms, they always have those springs on the outside, and I've seen in other videos where people really have a hard time making the microphone arm actually stay in place where they want it. It always like bounces up or goes down when the microphone is too heavy. And this one here looks like it has a little bit of some friction adjustment. These are Allen keys or Allen head screws, and they didn't give me an Allen key. Here's the attachment point for the microphone, and since we're at it, let's just see if this actually fits. And I think so. Some people on Amazon really do not know what they're talking about. Here, let me screw this on real quick off camera so I don't drop it on the pavement. I gotta say, the threads don't fit really well. So maybe they were actually correct saying that that's not the right size. But the microphone is on now. It's screwed on and it's tight, and that's all it needs to be, you know. So, and then I have a lathe. If I need to make an adapter, I will make an adapter for it. So that looks pretty good. Now let's just take this little clampy thing here over on this side, and we're gonna clamp it on my desktop right there. Made in China. So like right here. Tighten up the C-clamp thing. There's a nice rubber pad on both the top and the bottom part. Sorry for shaking you. Then the microphone arm. This end of the microphone arm just slides right in there. That's it. Also has some rubber in there, and there's a little knob that you can tighten this up with. Alright guys, here's the whole thing. Microphone arm is a little wobbly here at the bottom, but like I said, you can tighten that up. It moves up and down. You can put it all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. It doesn't bounce around, it just stays wherever you put it. The little swivel here on the microphone itself allows you to point it wherever you want it. Then you can do cable management right along the arm and just use those Velcro straps or zip ties. It even has a little bit of a groove up here. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, right around here to run the cable through and then run it over to your computer. So makes a pretty solid impression on me. It doesn't make any noise either, so while you are live streaming, for example, and you have to change your microphone position, you don't want to have the cling cling cloing noises of those springs. You know, lots of adjustment room here. Put the microphone differently like that. Get it out of the way, just swing it out of the way. It stretches out pretty far, so if you have a long cable on there, you can move this thing over to the place where you need it, swing it around, and if you don't want this to move like this that easily, you just grab the little knob here at the clamp and tighten it up a little more. This is really pretty solid, and this microphone arm doesn't break the bank either. I think it was $49 if I'm not completely mistaken. I will for sure put some Amazon affiliate links down in the description if you want to check it out. Design wise, it's very similar to the Rode microphone arm. I think it's the PSA1, and this FiFine microphone is literally the lowest budget version they have, but it does have pretty good reviews. I'm now gonna hook it up, and then we're gonna see what it sounds like. Alright guys, now I'm recording with my new microphone. It's the FiFine K668. $21 off of Amazon. Came with a little tripod. It came with a anti-wind foam cap, and it's a USB microphone with absolutely no adjustments on the microphone. But going into the Windows settings, it's really no problem. Alright guys, so it looks like the thread inside the FiFine microphone and the thread here on the end of the microphone arm are the same pitch, but this is larger in diameter, so it kind of doesn't fit really well. It literally fits over the threads and doesn't thread on. But what we can try is to use some Teflon tape. Hey guys, there's been a development. I was in the process of filming footage for unboxing, assembly and review of my new microphone arm, as well as my new microphone, which is the FiFine K668. FiFine K668. Here's the little chrome mounting piece that I took off of the microphone to make it a little easier. I had read in some Amazon reviews that some people had the problem that the thread in here doesn't fit the microphone arm. As you can see, I don't even have to screw it on, it just falls on. So of course in this kind of way it doesn't hold onto your microphone arm, right? This sucks. This is manufacturing defect or design flaw or whatever you want to call it. Of course it could also be the threading on the microphone arm end here, but I doubt it because I actually took a vernier caliper to it and measured it, and the outside diameter of this thing is exactly 5/8 inches, which that's what it's supposed to be. So I'm assuming that the part that came with the microphone that mounts on here, it's just not manufactured correctly. So way loose. I like the quality of the microphone. It's simple, it doesn't have many buttons, it doesn't have many adjustments, so you do your adjustments in your computer and then leave it alone. I really like that part, and it's cheap. You know, another reason, it delivers a decent audio quality and it's relatively inexpensive. So I like it, I just don't like this here. And now I have been thinking of ways of making this work. Initially I wrapped some Teflon tape around it and then tighten it up. And of course that will work for a little while until it comes loose. Teflon is a relatively soft material. Then you could of course use epoxy and then permanently attach this thing to this arm here. But what if I ever want to change the microphone again, which might happen? Then that would be too permanent and then you can't take it off anymore. So then I thought of hot glue. My hot glue gun dripping already. If you put some hot glue in here, then screw it on. If you can't make it all the way because the hot glue cools off really quickly and then maybe you only make it halfway on there, you can get yourself a hot air gun, or maybe even just a cigarette lighter, like a butane lighter, and put the flame right under here, heat this up, and the heating up will soften the hot glue, and then you can screw it on, and then your hot glue will solidify in whatever position you leave it at, and then it should be permanent until you change your mind, you want to change the microphone. Then you just take the butane lighter to it again and warm it up again, and then you can take it off. And then the remaining part of the hot glue that will stay on here, this can also be heated with a hot air gun and then wiped off. That's what I came up with. So now we're going to try this. I already plugged in my glue gun, so it should be nice and hot. This is a 40-watt glue gun. There are some of those craft store little ones, they are only like 15 watts, takes forever to heat up, and the glue coming out is barely hot enough. So now we're gonna see if this is gonna work. So we're just gonna put a couple dabs of glue in here, and then we're immediately gonna start gluing this on here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I already put some electric tape here on the other end, so I can, I think we're already running out of heat. But like I said, it's no problem. You get your hot air gun or your butane lighter. Alright, let's see. So we got it on all the way. And then the hot glue will solidify, and it's already not moving anymore. This is not going anywhere. And then we can put the microphone back on here. Actually pretty decent hardware here. So the taking off the microphone off of this mounting piece is actually not that hard. It's a nut from one side and a little screw from the other side, and they kind of like that. And then my microphone arm here, actually this attachment point, that swivels, so I really don't need to swivel in the threading part here. So just like that, and when I like it, just tighten up the little knob over here, and that's it. And the hot glue in here is doing its job. I think this is a pretty good solution for the problem that some of the customers on Amazon had with this microphone. So you don't have to fiddle around with Teflon tape, and then you put too much Teflon tape on it and then you can't screw it on. I think this is pretty decent. What do you guys think? Alright, that's it. I almost forgot to mention the best part of this whole story here about the K668 made by FiFine. I wanted to make sure that the manufacturer is aware of this manufacturing defect, and I reached out to them through Facebook, and there's a email address that you can reach out to the company, and I told them all about it. We exchanged many messages back and forth. I even sent him a short cell phone video about what I'm talking about. I showed him my caliper measurements and all that stuff, so they know that this part needs some more quality control, I guess, when this gets manufactured. And we'll see, maybe there's going to be a K668 version 2, or they're just going to silently improve upon this silver part here, which would be fine. They were nice enough to refund me the purchase price of this entire microphone, so that's nice. I want to mention that because customer service still exists in the world. So I told them the problem. I proved to them that it is definitely a problem on their product side and not on the microphone arm side. And I got a full refund. And as I just showed you, I found a fix to this. At least I think it's a acceptable solution to this. And I'm going to be using this K668 for a while. Alrighty guys, that's now really it.